Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 24 and another part of the Lewis Hamilton career mode. Today we are taking on the Chinese Grand Prix. It is our first sprint race of the season. Looking forward to that. So a bit of a shorter episode today as we focus on the sprint qualifying session and sprint race. I assume it's all official in this game. I've not actually checked yet, but yeah, we will be focusing on that today, and then tomorrow we will have the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying and race itself, feature race. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Last time out we got a pole position. It was an incredible lap around Suzuka with Lewis Hamilton. We took pole position. It was a bit of a shame in the end that we couldn't convert it into a victory, but we finished fourth. It was a good result. Couple of mistakes in there, and that's what we need to iron out, and that's what's tricky. Obviously no flashbacks, nothing like that. A strict corner cutting. It just leaves you open to those sort of issues that you might not have in a normal career mode, but really enjoying it so far. We are doing pretty well in the championship, 33 points, equal with George Russell, ahead of Fernando Alonso. It'd be nice if we can start getting some even more solid results to try and propel us into that battle for second. I don't think we're going to beat Max Verstappen, but we'll see. We'll see anyway. Let's have a little look at some goals for this weekend then. We are going to easily do the DRS slot for more than 45 seconds. That sounds good to me. Finish in a better position than your teammate. Achieve a position of third or better in qualifying. That's tough. So let's go for finishing a better position than your teammate. That's a bit of a motivation to do that. Complete 5 laps in practice sessions. In and out laps are not included. Complete 10 laps during a race weekend. Well, we're going to easily do that, so we'll go for that one. I think the key to this is going for something that you're definitely going to do. Complete a driven lap in 2 different sessions. I mean, are they taking the mick with some of these goals? They are. I really like the concept of these specialists, but these are just too easy to hit for the most part. Yeah, a little bit odd, I think, but hey, it is what it is. Right, okie dokie then. Reviewing your contracts will result in the following. You'll be able to negotiate a lower target. We don't want to do that. Any recognition will be nullified. Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's fine. We don't want to do that. I was just checking. That wasn't something we wanted to do. We are level with George Russell in this rivalry at the moment. 33 points each. 3-1 in qualifying. Highest qualifying position for me is first. For George, it's fourth. Best finishing position is third for him, fourth for us at the moment. Race results 2 and 2. Podium finishes 2 for George, none for us at the moment. So it's 2s each as it stands. Looking at our R&D, we have got a little bit in progress, 1 for me and 1 for George. Both of those should come through. We have got 389 resource points, so I'm thinking, how could we use those? Not there and not there. What about on the powertrain? 660 for that. Durability. We can afford a durability one, but I'm not really that bothered. I'd rather save up for the cockpit weight reduction, so we might go for that one once we've saved up a little bit. Let's see if the tyre blankets come through. No, of course they don't.
We've had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, and the entire development package for the weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
Yeah, so that one will come through. That's fine. We did rush it. We knew it was probably not going to come through, but it's fine. We will get some resource points, which is good. So 273 now. Don't think that is enough to go and do our weight reduction. unfortunately. Has George done that? Yeah, he has. George has done that. That's good. Okay, that's fine. 660 is the next one. 360, 351. Yeah, we just have nowhere near enough resource points for all of those. That's okay, though. That's absolutely fine. Okay, continue on then. And we will head to the race weekend. Here we go. First time we've raced in China for many a year, since 2019, I believe. Sprint weekend tyre allocation. Sprint weekends have different tyre allocations to standard weekends. There's fewer sets in total to choose from, and there are additional restrictions on the use of tyres. During qualifying sessions, only soft tyres can be used. During sprint qualifying 1 and 2, only new set of medium tyres can be used per session, or only one new set. Only one new set of soft can be used in SQ3. Okay, so that's all very interesting. We've obviously only got one practice session before we get to sprint qualifying, so we've got to make the most of that. That is going to be difficult in terms of the practice programs. I mean, if I click go to next session, you can see we've still got all three of them to try and fit in somehow into that session. So that's going to be tricky. But we'll try our best. We'll get it done. Do we treat ourselves to a new engine? I don't think so. I think we're all sorted. So I'll see you guys for sprint qualifying, and we'll see how we get on.
Here's something we haven't said for a little while. Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years' absence from the calendar, it is great to be back here. But just who is going to put their car on pole?
Okay, here we are then for sprint qualifying. SQ1, SQ2, SQ3 coming up for you. We are using mediums for session 1, I believe. Although Oscar Piastri has gone out on soft, so maybe... Yeah, this might be glitched, but... we're going to try and do it properly. This is our setup for this weekend. Feel free to pause it and have a look if that's what you want to do. But let's get ourselves into it then. We're going to go out there on medium tyres. There's obviously nothing we can do about going on to soft tyres. Until SQ3, but... I mean, everybody else is going to be in the same position, presumably. But we'll see if anybody goes out on mediums. But I have a feeling that everybody's going to end up going out on soft tyres in SQ1, maybe mediums in SQ2 and mediums SQ3. That could be the way around that it happens. But we'll have to see. Oscar Piastri has gone quickest for now. We're going to try our best to look after these tyres so that they're usable later on as well, if needed, because we might have to just whip out the soft tyres and go with the flow. So here we are then, on the long straight here in China. We've not really been featuring high up on the speed traps this weekend, so we might end up in quite a bit of trouble on Sunday.
Just been pushed down into P18.
But you might remember Hamilton, of course, finishing second in the sprint race in China earlier this season. We have gone quickest there, though, on a 1:33.3 on the medium tyres. So, yeah, it looks like Verstappen's gone out there on mediums as well. So this is really interesting, actually, to see the difference between all the different...
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
all the different cars. Let's have a little look then. So we are currently first. Lots of people are out there on mediums. Lots of people on softs as well. So Lance Stroll currently quickest. But I think we're going to be fine. I think we should be through.
With qualifying
Yes,
wrapped up
through
now,
in
we have our
12th.
grid
We'll settle
lineup
for that.
the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Now, going out in Q1 then, Gasly, Tsunoda, Sargent, Magnussen and Ocon, all on soft tyres. I'm going to be really intrigued to see what happens here in SQ2. Are we going to be all on mediums? What's going to happen? I mean, it's suggesting that the softs there. Yeah, we'll go for the new set of mediums. We'll try and do it properly. Although, I mean, there's only 9 minutes. I'm gonna actually fast forward it just a little bit and see what people do. Okay. Some people have gone out there on softs. I think we can get through on the mediums, I really do. So let's actually fast forward it a little bit more. And then we'll have an idea of who's out there on what. Yeah, there's lots of people out there on mediums, so I think we'll be fine. Let's head out there. Let's give it our all and see if we can get through SQ2. Here we come then, up to the line at the end of SQ2 to 33.2. Where is that going to put us? It puts us 9th, just about through into SQ3 and a chance for sprint pole. We will settle for that. Okay, so I think we're one of the only people out there that have got brand new soft tyres. Now, we've only got time for 1 run, so I'm going to take out all of the fuel. We're going to fast forward until the last possible moment. And we'll see what happens here. I assume most people are going to be on mediums, although they're not, to be fair. Well, Verstappen and Leclerc and Russell seem to be a lot quicker than the rest of them. So we should finish at least 4th. Let's head out there. Make sure that we get our time in. We've got plenty of time here. But we have 1 lap in sprint qualifying on these brand new soft tyres. It should be more than enough here. Let's see what we can do. We should finish 4th as a minimum. George Russell is the guy in 3rd. He was on a 32.1, so if we can get into the 31s, that'd be ideal. I'll qualify George for sprint qualifying. That'd be good. Purple through the first sector, so it's a good opening to this lap. I've got no real concept of where we're going to be because we've not at all done a low fuel run on the soft tyres. So this is all brand new to us, coming through the middle sector now. So 1.1 quicker than Carlos Sainz. So that would put us sort of par with George Russell. We use quite a bit of ERS there just to get us up to towards 200 mile an hour fairly quickly. We hit that apex absolutely beautifully now then. This is the key corner. Don't want to run too wide. Oh, we nearly did. Onto the curbs we go, and it is a 32 flat. That is third position on the sprint grid for tomorrow. We out-qualified George Russell by 1/10 of a second. I'm very happy with that. But it's Max Verstappen who is on pole for the sprint race, ahead of Charles Leclerc and all of the top four within 4/10 of a second. It's going to be pretty intense going into the race. Let's see what effect this has on all of the rivalries. I assume we're going to get some extra pace for that. Yep, some extra pace there, which is good. I'll advance on. Yeah, I guess we don't get to see the rivalry until the end. So I'll see you guys for the race. Let's see what's going to happen. 7 laps.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Stroll, Joe, Bottas, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Tsunoda, Sargent, Magnussen, and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Plenty to talk about when it comes to Max Verstappen at the moment. He's on our screen, so let's talk Max. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What
on earth is going on here?
Start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. As we all know, every single driver...
We're just going through every single commentary thing, which is hilarious.
Things are pretty stable at the moment. They're doing what the team require.
But that's the thing, you know, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you, and, you know, you want to further your career the best you can, but you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
Okay, we finally get through that. Right, in terms of strategy, we definitely want to be going for the medium tyres. The softs do not last more than 3 laps in terms of performance, so we're going to reduce our fuel to around about, well, 7.1. Let's go for that. Try and be a little bit quicker than we have been. Let's get into it. Formation lap, of course, before we get into the sprint.
Formation lap gets underway ahead of today's sprint. It's going to be interesting to see who gets pole
wow,
position.
Verstappen and Russell have gone soft. That is huge. That is huge. I think that means that it's ourselves and Leclerc that are going to be battling for the win again.
The sprint as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
So, because it's a sprint race, we will go for 100% live comm throughout the whole of this sprint race. 7 laps, of course. Let's see how we get on. We're nicely lined up and ready to go for the start of this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen and George Russell, they're going to be quick starters, but you'd imagine their tyres are going to fall off very, very quickly. But how far ahead is Max Verstappen going to be when that time comes? Here we go, ready for the lights. Lights out and away we go here in China for the sprint race. It's a decent start off the grid for us, but George Russell off to an even better start, and he flies down the inside, and we try and keep it clean, really. We don't want to cause an incident. Oh, with him, and God, he nearly took our front wing off there. That was very, very close. Now, we know that those soft tyres are going to work a treat for him. We need to make sure that we're ahead of the other guys. Now, who's that? That's Carlos Sainz, I think. Round the outside he was. And the only thing I would say is that our pace might not be very representative. You know, our qualifying position. We're probably on par with George, but we didn't really get to test ourselves in a fair fight against everybody else. We were a couple of tenths off Max, I suppose, on those soft tyres. Now then, going to have to use the ERS. We didn't want to have to do this early on, because we like to save it for a little bit. But there goes George Russell. He's going to be having a look at Charles Leclerc now, possibly round the outside of the next corner. And they're still side by side. But surely those tyres are not going to last. But George Russell up into second for now. Bit of a tentative first lap from us.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I'm going to move it on to hot lap mode to see if that'll increase our pace over the next few corners. Obviously get DRS this lap. We need to get within a second of Charles. That's absolutely a dead cert. Because we're going to need the DRS. I think that's pretty good. Little dab of overtake. And there's the DRS open now. And that's pretty awesome. Now, George Russell's tyres are going to drop off very, very soon. No DRS this time. Don't quite know how we didn't have DRS there. Now back within DRS range of Leclerc. This is pretty good. And a quick look at tyres. Tyres are looking good, so I think these are definitely the tyres to be on in the race tomorrow as well. And there goes Leclerc. And a look at George Russell round the outside. This is obviously where Russell got Leclerc on the first lap. Leclerc's through. But they're still battling it out. DRS open now for us. And this could be a chance to get past Leclerc here. He's on the inside of George Russell. Oh, it was a little bit of a moment. We could have looked for a switcheroo. And Russell still side by side now. This really does help Max Verstappen, because I don't think we're going to be able to catch him come the end of the race. Well, we're going to have a go at Charles Leclerc here. This is a big move, and we are through. That's huge. Right then, George Russell is our teammate next. Can we get past him? DRS is going to get us nice and close. It was a risky move on Leclerc, but there was a gap there. We went for it. It's fair to say it worked out well. So there's 3 laps to go after this one. DRS open.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Just behind George there. Max is 4 seconds ahead. I think we could probably do it if we got past George here. But I feel like we need to try and take advantage of the DRS here. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, little presses of the overtake is what's helping here. DRS is open. We're closing in. We brake later. We're around the outside. Little dab of overtake, but we are through on George Russell. That's what we needed. And now we can push for the final 2 laps and see where we get to here. So, hot lap mode enabled. Hot lap mode enabled again. Russell is going to close in, but not by enough. So here we go then, we're coming on to the final lap of this sprint race. It's been a good race.
One of the Red Bulls, there's a Red Bull ahead of you. Final lap, push, push.
And a couple of good overtakes. I'm just amazed that they've managed to take these soft tyres 7 laps without any serious ramifications. And you can see how much time we gained in that opening corner on George Russell. It's in the braking zones that we're really finding the advantage, which is what you'd expect. Just about a second ahead of George here. So that means no DRS for George down this next straight. I mean, look at Max. He's actually only about 3.2 seconds ahead. He is really struggling. But this, he's losing a load of time here, but we need another lap or so to get there. It's going to be Max Verstappen that wins the first sprint race of the season. Well played, Max. We're going to come across the line and finish in second and ahead of George Russell. We'll settle for that.
Everything, guys. Let's keep pushing. Not the result we wanted, but still got good points.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
Well, there you go then. Max Verstappen wins it in the end, just 3.1 seconds ahead of us in second. We finish a second ahead of George Russell in third. Leclerc finishes fourth, and then Sainz fifth, Piastri sixth, Norris seventh, and Sergio Perez rounds out the top 8 of this sprint. The effect on the standings, looking at that, we are now 1 point ahead of George Russell. We're on to 40 points. We're starting to close in on the likes of Perez, Norris, Sainz, etc. But Max Verstappen is running away at the top of the table. Let's advance on and see what effect that has on the rivalry. We're now up to 3 out of 6. So 3-2. And there you go, increasing all of these parts of our game. That's what we like to see. Very, very good indeed. But of course, we have still got half of the weekend to go. We've got a proper qualifying session coming up tomorrow, and then we have the 20-lap race. That is going to be exciting in tomorrow's episode. But if you have enjoyed that, then give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.